Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Madden Football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Baltimore Ravens. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here come the Bengals now to take over. And they will be led out by their 6'4 quarterback.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
5 yards on the game's first play, second down. And a look now at the Cincinnati offense.
Out of the backfield is Joe Mixon, and he was a valuable commodity coming out of the University of Oklahoma because of his ability to be so versatile. Can run it inside with power, gets to the perimeter and can outrun people, catches the ball not only out of the backfield, but you can split him out just like he would be a receiver. And I think if he wanted to dedicate himself, he'd be an all-pro kick returner.
And he'll take this forward for 2, maybe 3. But we do have a flag down, and they're already marching backward. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. A look now at the lineup defensively for the Ravens. They've been pretty much a mess against the pass, number 31 in the league.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
One of the money routes for any offense, the drag route. So tough to defend because the receiver can stop at any point and make himself available to the quarterback and get a completion. But I love the communication we saw there. All the defenders pointing out the receiver, where he was going, and then they were able to rally to the ball after the catch and stop him short of a 1st down.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. And this O-line, it is the lifeblood of the offense.
They establish the tone. Mean, nasty, physical. They can't wait to get after people. That allows the rest of the offense to feel confident.
Play action. Now Jackson. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Nixon will try the right side. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
A nice-looking play to start the drive. Down the middle and complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down.
On the set. 59. Mike's 59. In your face.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he's got it. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. John Ross, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And there they got him the ball. Just get it to him, let him do the rest.
You know, he probably said that to his quarterback as he broke the huddle. I like the play call. Just get it to me. I'll take care of the rest of it.
Helping out his rack, right? R-A-C?
Run after catch, and he loves that, and he's going to carry that in at contract time.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 24. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. They'll go screen here to Hunt. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 8. And it'll be a 2nd and long. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Here's Jackson to throw, and it's incomplete. Defensive starters, here they are for Cincinnati. It's quite a unit, number 1 in the NFL against the pass.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson gets this to Kareem Hunt, his running back. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Taking it about the 16. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. 2nd and 6. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Terry.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. 2nd and 10. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 34-yard line.
It's a good draw, Parker. 60 out now. Step.
Mixon with a first down carry. Fighting through. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27. The numbers for Mixon last week, 20 carries, 90 yards.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes a leading rusher.
This is caught.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get it done. Let's go.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme, and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive.
And he bowls his way into the end zone for a Bengal touchdown. Joe Mixon with touchdown number 8 on the year. Well, the Bengals, they widen their lead. Second effort there, he was determined to find pay dirt, and he did.
I think that's a great example of what coaches talk about, a back that runs behind his pads, and he uses pads to get him into the end zone.
Extra point attempt to follow here. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. That time, a 9-play drive. And it all culminated in the touchdown run coming from Joe Mixon. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
On first down, they'll run with Hunt. And an alley to run. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Try to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And now Jackson will look to throw it. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape, and that is not going to get it done.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Back to Mixon on first down. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
And Lobo.
59, Mike to 59. Watch the run, watch the run.
Second and 14. Finding some room at midfield. He's got his man. This is Tate. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. This quarterback now hitting on 80% of his passes in the early going. 8 of 10. It's first down.
You got tight right there. Check. Let's go.
Now Joe Mixon. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, here's Mixon. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, minus 2 yards, brings up third down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Terry. 20! And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
Here we go on 2nd and 12.
Holding offense.
Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always making sure no one's holding.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them much better opportunity to convert on third down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive. But they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 11 and a Baltimore first down. On first down, Hunt trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. They'll run with Hunt on 2nd down. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Jackson. And this is caught by Watkins. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. This is taken at the 3. He'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the 2nd quarter. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the first down run. Give him 7 yards on the carry, and it will take us. Minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got his man on the out route. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch there.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Back to throw now on first down. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. 18 yards on that one, and the Bengals are moving. First down.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight, doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Got out of the pocket, didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Who's that?
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. The improv act there, good for 9, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. The Bengals going to use this. Seconds to go in the first half. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A 1-yard touchdown reception. Now the Bengals, they widen their lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Point after here coming up. And the lead is up to 14. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Bengals score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We're under 20 seconds to go in the half. I'm guessing the wise play here is be safe.
That is the wise play, because if you think about trying to fool them here, here's what you're facing. You're facing a loosened-up secondary, playing a lot deeper than normal. So even if you run some type of misdirection, you're only going to fool them for a second or so. And guess what? They're so deep, they're really not going to be out of position. Take the knee, get to the locker room.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And a gain of 4 gets him right to the midfield stripe. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. He's going to throw one up for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. We're starting to get near the home stretch of this NFL season. It's Week 13, so let's get an update on what's going on. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland. And it's the Steelers who are out in front. Russell Shepard has thrown a touchdown pass. From there, let's head to Philly to see what's happening with the Eagles. And they trail that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. The Packers looking to sew that one up, and they look to be in pretty good shape. Lastly, let's get you to Charlotte, North Carolina. Check on the Panthers at home at Bank of America Stadium. And they've got the lead in that ball game over the visiting 49ers. The Panthers seem to be on their way to what would be a good victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go.
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this 3rd quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. 7 yards there and a first down.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
They'll run on first down. It's Hunt. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. On second down, it's Kane. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are back within a single score. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard and you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
Tucker now to add the point after. He's got it, and it's 24-17. A drive there of just 4 plays. And a long run there in the end to top it off. This is taken at his 4. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
Now that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And 3 yards there takes him to the 45.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go.
Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down. Someone moved, flag is out. That's going to be 5 yards.
And that'll drive coaches crazy. You work all week on dealing with loud crowds, on dealing with motion, and then you have a guy jump.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down. Jackson now off the bootleg. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carl Lawson in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Here's Jackson on 3rd and long. Towards the end zone for Brown. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
12 yards on the return that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Now Mixon. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
60 outlaw.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. He's got a first down and then some at midfield.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
After the penalty, it's Mixon. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Looking for the end zone. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. From 21 yards away. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Point after, right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's finished off with a Cincinnati touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Let him know, let him know. Slam.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Jackson from the shotgun. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
I remember when I was a kid and all I wanted was a nickel so I could get that soda down at the fountain. And guess what? The nickel came into play well. 5 defensive backs, they covered well, allowed for the sacks.
Sodas were a nickel when you were a kid?
No, I just needed the extra nickel so I could pay the proper price.
Okay, how much were they? A dime? What were they?
15 cents.
Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. A solid first half for him, and so far a good start to the second half.
And I'm going to try not to go overboard with praise here, but I can't help it. He is playing so well. Really accurate with the ball, finding guys open downfield, and finding the end zone 3 times. That'll help offset the 1 interception.
Absolutely. Just that one pick with the 3 touchdowns so far. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down.
Hey.
They'll run with Mixon. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Leo. Ready?
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
On 2nd down now, Dobbins. And he'll be tackled at about the 35.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Just like that. Just like that.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Mixon. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Move the chains. A gain of 7 on 3rd down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. Back now in Baltimore. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th. On 2nd down, Mixon. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave them trying to convert on 3rd and 9. It's caught at the 10. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Bengals, they widen their lead. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it ends with a Bengals score. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Charles, this one not over, certainly, but you set the magic number earlier in this game at 20 points. Said that they would need to hold them right around that marker under it. What are you seeing here?
Well, that number is still in play because we said, okay, 20 or under gives them a chance to win. Right on pace for being in that range. And guess what? They've got a shot.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. 2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And it's a huge return as he brings this all the way back down to the 15-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Open man is Ross, complete. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 11 yards for number 11.
Set, ready? 30 base.
Check 59. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. Let's go.
They'll set up a throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're still throwing the football here, and obviously the incompletion stops the clock. That's a bad thing.
Feels to me like they're just keeping them honest on defense because you know they're going to stack the line of scrimmage and try and stop any type of a running play. Short little passes may work in exchange of running plays. Keep the clock moving, keep them moving.
I guess you're right. If they can get some first downs, just as good as running the football. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Looking to throw. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Jackson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. That's taken in by Henderson. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Jackson now. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Again, Jackson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 40. They find some open field here. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
Let's go now. 18 Gators.
On 1st down, Mixon. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Joe Mixon, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. So, Charles, there are the numbers. What's happened here? Defensive adjustments that's caused him to sort of fall off a bit?
I think so. That has to happen. You've got to make some changes because in the first half, they were pretty effective. But the second part is sometimes when you're doing really well, you get off your game a little bit. You get off the gas a little. You're like, okay, we've got this thing. And that's not necessarily the case. Maybe right now, someone just needs to tell a joke in the huddle, loosen things up, and get their big guy going again.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Jackson, and he's got his big tight end over the middle, complete. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down.
Here I come. Here I come. Here I come.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And this is caught by Watkins. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
To throw again on 2nd down. Jackson over the middle, and it's incomplete. He was looking for his tight end, Mark Andrews, there. But now it'll be 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This will be 3rd and 5. To throw is Jackson. And that's caught. by Smith. Oh, it's out. Smith lost it. And the Bengals grab it. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They'll start here with a give to Mixon. One of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
It doesn't matter whether they scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
They will get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now they run with Mixon. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
70, Indy.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 2nd down now. Mixon, and he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. A Bengal 1st down on the 16-yard pickup there.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That time, the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, he can't hold him.
A 1st down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. And it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
But it looks like they caught him off guard on 2nd and very long by running the football. All right, we always talk about tendency breakers and counters and doing things opposite the grain, and that worked very well for them. Picked up really nice yardage, but they still have a lot of work to do on 3rd down.
They'll keep it on the ground. Dobbins, no, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And they will finally get him, but not until he's all the way down inside the 15-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on. That's practice. That's worked on. It doesn't just happen in a game and everyone rallies. They discuss it prior to, and everyone knows their role when they create a turnover like that.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Jackson. And this is caught. Well, they get one back, picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team. But I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Tucker now for the extra point. And the lead is down to 24. Well, that drive started with not a whole lot of real estate in front of them. In plus territory, excellent field position. 2 plays later, pay dirt. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Come on, set. 18 Gator.
Double tight, guys, double tight.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Bengals, they continue to be one of the best teams around as they move to 10-2. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, this loss cost them in the